Matron, take them away.
And a warm welcome to one and all. If it's your first time here, I'm the big fella Scruff. And what I'm trying to do is put trading in the real world. Maybe show you a trick or two along the way. Now, in this episode of Coffee with Scruff, it's actually a recording of a webinar that I was in with BlackBull Markets. Now, BlackBull Markets, if you haven't come across them before, they're one of my preferred brokers. I do use them personally myself. They have excellent MT5 platform, up to 500 to 1 leverage, and it's peanuts to get into it. If you're interested in checking it out, there is a link for it below. And because they see what I do and they've known me for quite a while, they've asked me to come along and sit in some of the webinars. So here's a little shout out to David and BlackBull. Enjoy.
Welcome to the Learn to Trade with BlackBull Markets podcast. Today we have a special guest and friend of BlackBull Markets, Scruffy Trader, who is joining us over Zoom. Scruffy Trader is known in the trading industry for his mentorship program, where he tackles many subjects, including what I want to talk about today, which is the power of treating trading as a job. So welcome, Gary. Happy to have you here.
Oh, I'm very welcome. Hello. Pleased. How are you?
Fantastic. I'm not bad, thanks. Yeah, no, I've had my coffee. I know we're in different time zones, so I appreciate you taking the time.
I definitely need my coffee. But you look a little bit better than me. I'm a bit worse for wear because it's touching on 11 o'clock at night here. So I've been at the screen since 6 o'clock this morning. So if I fall asleep, I do apologize in advance.
Understood. Acceptable. Oh, fantastic. Hey, look, so first things first, would you mind giving us a little introduction to what you do and why traders should be paying attention?
Yeah, I'm primarily a day trader. For all I do a little bit of mentorship. Where that comes from, it's a small group that I run, and I do very little of it because my wages comes from the screen, you know, and it's sort of a long journey to get to where I am. I mean, I've been in and around the markets since mid-2000s, and I came into the markets a lot different to how most people you would see in BlackBull. You know, most people see a YouTube video or some ad on Instagram, think, oh, I'll have a punt at that. For me, it was actually my job. I used to do what was called forward purchasing for a mail order company I was a managing director of. And if you haven't come across that, it's basically just timing the exchange rate for us to buy goods in far off lands. Now, through the years, that actually became, well, essentially my job, my career. Because when that company closed in 2017, I needed to earn an income. 47-year-old, wrong side of the age bracket to go back into industry, and I was managing director for the best part of 17 years. So I would always say I'm a good boss, but I'm a terrible employee, and that led me into trading because it's just me, the screen, and my own talents, and that's it. So I've got like a wide range of skills in trading. But it always comes back to common sense. And I think that's sadly lacking in this industry because it's all glitz. It's not. It's hard work. And you've got to put the work in to get the reward out. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. I'm just a guy who does a job, nothing special. And it just so happens that the job we're in is reasonably well paid if you're good at it.
Absolutely. No, fantastic. Yeah, no, that's really interesting. I appreciate the background there. That's fascinating. You know, no doubt you've seen a thing or two, and certainly sort of understand it from a wider perspective. That's great. Look, how would you stress the importance of trading as a job, and when you're talking to traders seeking your mentorship, what's your sort of main piece of advice there, I guess?
Well, the reason why I say treat it as a job, it's very simple. If you treat it as a job, it'll pay you as a job. And as I've just said, this job is incredibly well paid. But if you're looking to strike it rich, just go buy a lottery ticket, because that's about as much chance as you've got, because you're not putting any structure into what you're trying to achieve. You know, so if you have a job, you have a set tasks that you must perform each day. That can be your homework, getting set up. You lay your charts up. You prepare. You can't even prepare yourself. You know, calm yourself down. All of these sort of things. Now, to me, that's what a job is. Now, the beauty of this job is we are essentially freelancers, because we can do what we want when we want. You know, but if you don't put the work in, you're never going to get the reward out. So that's why I hammer home, treat it as a job, you know. And funny enough, I had a conversation in sort of the Zoom call I have with my group. And I said, knowing when not to trade is as important as knowing when to. And he says, yeah, but you say treat it as a job. If I said to my boss, I can't do it today, I wouldn't get paid. I says, but it depends on the industry. Just think about this. If you're a roofer and you said to your boss, I can't go on that roof today because there's gale force winds, it's chucking down with rain, it's going to be a disaster. You've still made the right call. So you're still doing your job. So all you would do at that point is you would go to the van and tidy the van up, or tidy up your workshop, whatever. You prepare for when the weather changes. We can do the same as traders. We can look at a chart. Doesn't mean to say you've got to press the button. You do your homework, consult your journals, mark your charts up ready for the next day. Even go for a walk to calm your mind down, to stop you from taking a punt. So that's still a job, because you're following a set of tasks and rules. And I think so many people miss that. They just think it's easy. I put a minute chart on. That's where the action is. Bang. And then they go, oh, this isn't really working very well. And they go, well, of course it's not. You haven't done your homework. You haven't done your tasks. But you haven't earned your apprenticeship. You know, and that's what traders are. When you're new, you're an apprentice. You have to earn the right to trade. And when you earn the right to trade, you earn your reward. And that's kind of the way I look at things. I always look at it that way. And it calms me down, and it means I'm not gambling. And that's why I've got a consistent hit rate. And that's it. You know, I mean, that's kind of a summary of a job.
No, of course. No, fantastic. I love that. I love that mindset too. It certainly makes a lot of sense. You know, being in the markets myself for a while too. I guess you sort of highlighted, I guess, some sort of rules in there too, but did you sort of have some more specific rules that sort of traders can follow to help with this mindset?
Well, certainly when you're new, put down the amount of markets that you would use. You know, so only look at maybe 3 markets that are correlated. So you could have, say, gold as a barometer, so you can see where the spikes are. Have cable, pound USD, you know, because if there's a big move on gold, it's probably coming into cable as well. And then an index like FTSE. So all 3 of them are connected. So that's kind of one rule. Keep your basket relatively small. Then trade one asset at a time. Don't try to be a martyr to the screen. You know, check it. Top of each hour, is it ready? And be binary with your questions. Yes or no. No, it's not ready. Fine. Do something else. Come back at the top of the hour. So be strict with your time frames. If you're an hourly chart reader, stick to an hourly chart reader. Don't go, oh, there's nothing on the hourly. Well, I think I'll have a look at the 4 hour, see what's happening there. No, what you're doing is you're changing your rules. So you have to be very stringent with your tasks and follow those tasks constantly. And what happens is, because you've got limited markets you look at, I've primarily got 4 that I mainly look at. And out of them 4, you only really look at 2. Now, I repeat the same thing day in, day out. And what happens is, it starts becoming a little bit like a dance partner or a marriage. You get to understand it inside out. And that comes from keeping the basket small. So that is the #1 rule. You know, be a specialist rather than a generalist, and then work from there. And if you are doing tasks, make certain you do it at the same time. So just like a job, and you go into your shift. I come to my desk 6:30 on a morning, prepare. I stay away from the open because like the battleground, I've got no idea which way the market's going to go in the first 30 minutes of the London Open. So another rule is I just avoid it. And likewise with news trading, I'm not a lover of news trading, so I have that highlighted as well. You know, if I don't understand it, don't trade it. And I don't care how good you are. We don't actually know what the news announcement is till it comes. So you're trying to predict the future. Isn't it better to be reactive once you've seen it? You know, you can see what the market's done, let the dust settle, and come back. So again, it's all about filtering down everything. And the principle that I use is if I filter all the bad, whatever's left has to be good. And it's that simple.
I like it. I like it. No, fantastic. I know you highlighted it before as well, but just going back to those people that are sort of looking to get into trading because they don't want the structure of a normal job, I guess. I guess in summary, what would you sort of say to them?
Well, that's the beauty of what we do. Call it a freelancer, if you like. If you work in a factory, you're there, you're a slave to the machine, you have to clock on at a certain time. And if you want your lunch, well, they tell you when you have your lunch, all of that. The beauty of trading is it can be anywhere. I can just take a laptop, and I've done it. Go on holiday. My wife goes into the spa, and well, as you can see, there's a good reason I'm called the Scruffy Trader, you know, because I'm not exactly polished. You know, she is. She's off in the beauty parlor. Me, I always look like I've been through a bush backwards. So she'll go off to the gym in the beauty parlor. I can log on and I can trade.
Yep.
So it's, as much as it's a job, it's also a lifestyle. And it's a lifestyle that you choose rather than it being forced upon you by an employer, if you want that. And then if you want a better salary, fine. You just build your account up. You know, follow the process. The money looks after itself. If you do the tasks time and time again, and you've got a positive expectancy, that account grows. If the account grows, your position size grows. You will naturally get a pay rise. And that's the attraction of this. You can do what you want when you want. But what I would say is it's part-time work for full-time wages, because you shouldn't be on the screens for 12 hours or 8 hours when you knew you want to be.
Yeah.
The actual clicking of this, the mouse, that's the last part of the job. But I work between 2 and 4 hours a day on the screens. And the rest of the time, I'm either journaling, talking to the guys, answering emails. So my actual working day is pretty minimal. You know, so like I said, part-time work, full-time wages.
Fantastic. No, love it. That's excellent. Well, look, yeah, excellent. But well, hey, look, thank you, Gary, and want to thank the listeners for tuning in. If you enjoyed this, make sure you subscribe for more. But yeah, once again, appreciate your time and your insights. That was incredibly educational. Thank you.
No, you're more than welcome. All the best to you.
Thank you. Cheers.